Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Capricorn. So Capricorn, as usual, I'm doing a reading with my own deck, so the cards that you'll see are from this deck. Uh, Capricorn, your reading today has this message of this important conversation with 3 other people. And each person in this room, in this group, in this conversation has a unique point of view and a unique personality. And I feel like it's your turn to talk. And it's like it's not like you're being cornered by these 3 people. It's like you're having a chance to express yourself, maybe in a manner that is standing your ground for the first time before these people, right? It's like expressing exactly what has been your experience or what has been your path, or like the choices that you made that paved your way, paved your life in a sense, but that gave you extreme maturity and reliability and just strength, like sheer strength and perhaps strength of character. But most of all, it's like you have experiences and real concrete memories of these experiences that perhaps this is the first moment that you're sharing it all in a position where you're being heard, or at least that you feel like you're not being not misheard or misinterpreted, but like genuinely heard, right? So you are standing your ground, and this is opened up by the first card, which is the 9 of Pentacles. And it's interesting because until last reading, that was the Sagittarius reading, talking about the braids that I was seeing with the 9 of Wands. To me, the 9 cards, right, the cards of the number 9 are all about the individual path, the path of self, your self-discovery, your own experience. But since yesterday, since the Sagittarius reading, that the 9 of Wands was flipped in a sense and was showing me the parallel experiences, the parallel paths that eventually would meet up in the middle and create this braid. It's coming through here as well, because not only we have the 4 people showing up as core cards, the other 3 cards are, well, 2 9s, the 9 of Pentacles, which is the opening card, and the 9 of Cups, and the other one is the Ace of Swords that I'm going to talk about in a second. But I feel like there is something about the your own experience, your own point of view, that you need to stand your ground. It's like expressing yourself firmly but maturely enough that you're not going to back away in the things that you're saying, right? Coming up with the King of Pentacles. So this is you showing up here. So this is the reason why I'm saying it's like, because you're the first one, Capricorn, that is showing up, and very firm, very like really standing your ground, right? It's like perhaps for the first time, Capricorn, you're feeling strong enough, independent enough, maybe self-confident enough to, well, or maybe you've had enough experiences that have been carving a way to your own self-security, to this sense of like the self-awareness of your own value, you see? So I feel like the spotlight is on you. It's like you're holding this baton to speak now, right? Now it's your turn to be heard by the others. And the reason why I'm saying the others is because after this King of Pentacles, which is you, there are, well, the two other participants, which one of them is the King of Swords and the other one is the Queen of Wands. And there is the third one, right? Completing 4 people, which is actually coming at the end as the Queen of Cups. Sorry, the King of Cups. So I'm going to talk about this. Sorry about the noise. There's this car alarm. So just try to ignore that. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this King of Cups at the end because I feel like what they express or the opinion that they have comes in at the end. It's almost like you're not directly speaking to this one. It's more like you're speaking to these two ones that maybe you want their attention, or maybe it's important for you that you are standing your ground before these two specific ones more so than the third one. You see what I mean? So there's something about these two kings that feels a lot more confrontational, and this queen seems to be like somebody that has a different vision. It's like well, all of these people, right? Because each one is coming with a suit, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's like each one of you, including you being maybe the more practical one, Capricorn, it's like each one of you have a very distinct perspective on life. And I want to say all of you complement each other, right? It's like this group of 4 people is exactly like the right amount of blending and, you know, incredibly mature beings, right? Because all of them are like these mature figures, but each one in their lane, in their unique lane, or in their unique personality, right? And yours, it's like maybe you're the manager, right? It's like you're the one that knows how to deal well with practical things. And the way that you are standing your ground before specifically and foremost, like to this one, is like because this is the one that you're expressing yourself first. And, you know, being the King of Swords, this one might have been the only one with the not the authority to speak, but in a sense, it's like maybe they're more persuasive, or maybe they're just a good communicators, or maybe they have been, you know, the scales were always tipping in their side of the equation in terms of speaking time. So now it's like it's like with your achieved, accomplished sense of self-confidence, or like maybe even your wealth, right? Maybe now that you're making money for yourself in a way that is like you're independent enough to not feel like you owe something perhaps towards this one, or, you know, perhaps maybe there was a slight competition, like to see who's the smarter, who is the best one, or whatever it is. But you're feeling a lot more secure, and it's like you're growing steadily, right? You're growing stronger by the day. And I feel like that is because you not only are maybe more self-aware of how your life has been built upon because of your choices, because of your practical standpoint, but also that this, you know, was a shared path in a sense, right? This maybe you wanted to make a point to this one that you were capable of achieving this independence. So I feel like there is this first intention in your part, Capricorn, to be incredibly to prove something to this King of Swords that might have been like the one with the majority of the time to speak, or like the ability to speak perhaps. And on the other side, this Queen of Wands seems to be, you know, it's like that mixture of excitement and passion, but also anger and rage, right? It's like a very fine line between, you know, expressing herself as intentionally, wanting to make her desires heard, but also not knowing how to express them, and maybe, crossing that line between showing how how certain they are about that point of view, and being too aggressive or being too you know what I mean, right? It's like not really knowing when to stop, or like not really knowing the tone in which like she expresses herself, right? It's all about the expression. It's like maybe yours, Capricorn, has been like very restrained most of your life, but now that you are in a point where you are feeling a little bit more secure, it's like you know that you have the tools or the money or the freedom or the independence to express yourself more, like standing your ground before these two who might have been dominating the conversation for a while, right? Or the dynamic, right? This could be, a family dynamic of 4, right? And it's interesting it's coming through as 4, because I want to say the 4 suits, right, are the unique expressions, the unique elements that all of us have inside of us that might be, more accentuated than others. And I feel like each person in this dynamic, in this group, in this family perhaps, has a unique trait that, if used in balanced, in in equilibrium, it's like there is going to be a beautiful blending and strengthening of the whole group, right? Because as I said, it's like it goes to it goes back to the individual paths because of the 9s, but at the same time the 9s are also, you see how here we have like one line here, one here, one here, and one here. So it's like at the end of the day, these 2 9s are actually expressing the 4 of you, right? Especially because after the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands, we do have the 9 of Wands. So I feel like even though this Queen of Fire didn't know exactly, or didn't have the tools or the communication skills to tone down the anger, tone down the aggression, and speak in a way that they could express their desires as well, right? It's like this is their passion, but at the same time that this is their unique passion, there's something about the shared passion. It's like maybe they did have an intention to share this with the 4 of you, right? You being in this group as well. And it's almost like at first you're the one starting this conversation, Capricorn, because you're feeling strong enough to claim this moment of speaking, right? Of being in the spotlight in a sense. But then it's the turn to, at first is their time to listen to you. But then perhaps this King of Swords is going to express how they feel, but it's not at first, right? I feel like straight away, because of the passionate characteristic of this Queen of Wands, they are the ones expressing their desires and dreams, and perhaps even their frustrations of not being able to fulfill their dreams, right? But expressing in a way that it's like they want to become better at communicating what they truly feel, right? What they truly desire, like expressing their passions without being aggressive, right? Without crossing that line of being too harsh or being too critical, right? Maybe they are very critical, perhaps in your perception, Capricorn. And I feel like this is, sorry about that again. So anyways, they are the ones who react first, right? Because they're coming through with the wands. So is the fire, and the fire is quick to react. And I feel like this is their reaction. It's like they see how it would be wonderful to have all of you become part of this dream, of this fulfillment of their dream. And then because after the Nine of Wands, we do have the Ace of Swords. It's the turn for this King of Swords to express himself. And I feel like they are going to be very direct and straightforward in a way that it's like they're not going to talk too much, right? Maybe they're going to be very precise with their words because they are very smart. They are incredibly like a good speaker. It's like they are well spoken, right? So it's like they do have like this objectivity about how they make a point that is completely different from this Queen of Wands, right? The Queen of Wands, it's like it's very extravagant, perhaps is the right word. It's like maybe they are very dramatic, right? Maybe they could be like an artist or something like that. But it's like just the personality trait, right? It's like they are a big personality, but coming as the only queen, that's the interesting thing also. It's like they're the ones who are maybe the ones like the most compassionate, or like the most sensitive, right? And the one that cannot hide their feelings in a sense. And maybe they're not happy that, you know, they often come across as very aggressive, or like feeling perhaps misunderstood, that what they really intend in showing is just that they want to fulfill a lot of I cannot speak, a lot of their dreams, but in a way that it's not apart from the rest of the group, right? It's like they want to include the group in their dreams, right? And all of this is like this character is listening very attentively, and the moment that they get the baton to speak, it's like they speak with a lot of authority, right? It's like they have a lot of knowingness also, and they have a lot of certainty in what they know. So I feel like maybe yes, they were very open to listening to you, Capricorn, coming as the Queen of Pentacles. And you know, it's almost like you were again trying to maybe to prove your value to this Queen of Swords. And I feel like the moment that they speak, or the moment that they acknowledge your bravery in a sense, your strength in proposing this conversation, I feel like they it's like they're not too emotional about it, right? It's like they can speak in a way that is like an observer's point of view, right? It's like they are speaking with a lot of it's not coldness, but it's like a very kind of like a very rational point of view, right? A very logical, direct point of view. Maybe they're just objective in their words, not mixing, you know, facts and emotions or feelings. You see what I mean? And that's when I feel like this one enters the scene with the Queen of, again, Queen, the King of Cups. So, and the alarm. So, the King of Cups is the fourth element, the fourth, well, it's the cups, right? Here comes the emotional one. Here comes the one that, well, maybe because they're coming as the king, even though I keep on wanting to say that they're a queen, it's like maybe they do understand the desires of this queen, right? Maybe they do understand what this one is trying to convey when they're saying that they want to have their dreams fulfilled, but including not, you know, it's not something selfish, right? If they come across as selfish most of the times, it's like this King of Cups understands and sees it and feels it, right? So there is a connection between these two, which is very beautiful, because it's like the water and the fire. And you know, when you join these two, it's like you make a great meal in a sense, right? You're able to cook something, you're able to alchemize something in a way that perhaps here there is this it's like this harsh confrontation, right? The earth and the air, it's like it's a lot more dry, it's a lot more cold, it's a lot more bare in a sense. So maybe here there is more friction, and here there is more understanding, there is more comprehension. And I feel like it comes from this one who seems like they're just an observer in this dynamic, right? This is the one that, you know, maybe they could be the ones that, you know, are a lot more in touch with their emotions. And I feel like you, as much as the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands, are a little bit more detached, right? Apart from this Queen of Wands, which I feel like they are a lot more passionate, but in terms of like feeling and being a sensitive soul, right, it comes from this King of Cups. So I feel like this one is not actually saying anything, right? Because there aren't any cards after that. I feel like this is just this person, this character, this element in the group is just holding a loving space, a loving atmosphere for the rest of the group, right? Because they seem to be like very emotionally intelligent, like they have like a really deep understanding of how they feel and what is unfolding in front of them. So it's like they are part of the group, but in a sense, it's like they don't want to, maybe they feel like it's not necessary for them to express anything, right? Because for them to just feel is enough, and not enough just for them, but for the rest of the dynamic, right? Because it seems like the conversation mainly is happening between these three characters, which is the first line. So it's like maybe you, Capricorn, needing to express yourself, as I said, before these two, but this one being also in the room and holding the space for this to be a tranquil, loving environment, and not a conflicting one, you see, and not like one that will end up in a fight or in a disagreement, right? It's actually the opposite. It's like when things that are intertwined, especially because of the nines, right? Not just practically, but also emotionally, and when there is this desire to get to the bottom of the truth, no matter how objectively some of these characters in the group can express the truth or not, it's like it ends up with love, right? It ends up with just the feeling that you are in a very nourishing and safe environment to stand your ground, to be heard, to express yourself, but also to allow the others to express their own truths, right? However this wants to come. So this is the main the part that this one is playing, in a sense, right? Holding the space of love for this to happen. So yeah, it's interesting because I feel like in a sense it is coming to a closure, but it's it's a healing. It's healing, right? So Capricorn, I am going to pull more cards for you to see what wants to come next. And also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.